wind here doesn't howl. It speaks. It moves across the Ural Mountains in long, guttural tones like breath pulled through cracked teeth. Even now I can hear it, dragging itself through the trees, curling beneath the snow like it's searching for something. Maybe for us. Maybe still for me. We came here to chase a ghost story. And we found it. But the ghost wasn't what I expected. The base camp was quiet when we arrived. Too quiet. No birds, no movement. Just frost creeping across the windows of the cabin like it was trying to get inside. The wood stove crackled, but the warmth never settled. It was as if the cold had a heartbeat pulsing through the walls. There were 4 of us. I had the camera, the questions, and the belief that truth could still be found. Katya, the observer, the one who watches from behind the lens. But I wasn't ready for what I'd see. Alexei was the kind of man who laughed too easily in the dark. A walking archive of Cold War secrets, alien theories, buried satellites. He lived for this kind of thing. Said the Dyatlov group stumbled into something they weren't meant to find. Said we'd probably do the same. Pavel didn't speak much. His eyes were old. He treated the mountain like a god, angry, silent, and best left alone. Every time we stepped off the path, he'd pause, like he was waiting for permission. Irina kept her emotions zipped up tighter than her jacket. Rational, clinical, always checking signals, data, coordinates. She didn't believe in the paranormal. Not then. We hiked in silence for hours, snow whispering under our boots. That first day felt wrong. The sun never fully rose, just hung behind the clouds like an eye half shut. The landscape didn't welcome us. It tolerated us. That night the wind came. Not a storm, not yet, just the sound, low, whistling, layered. Sometimes I'd hear words in it, fragments, names, my name. On the second day we found tracks, human, barefoot, leading away from the trail into nothing. They stopped mid-field. Not covered by snow, not faded. Just ended, as if the person had been lifted out of the world. We stood around them, quiet. The only sound was our breathing. Then the radio in Irina's pack crackled. At first it was static, but beneath it, voices, childlike, soft, almost humming. Irina shut it off, but I still heard it, somewhere between the trees. Later, Alexei uncovered a rusted metal fragment near a frozen ridge, embedded in the earth like it had been there for decades. The markings etched into it didn't match any language we knew. He grinned, saying, "They tried to bury this," but I noticed his hands shaking. That night, I reviewed the footage. I caught something moving, just past the tree line, tall, slow, almost fluid, a silhouette. When I paused the frame, it wasn't there, like it had never existed. On the third day, we found the tent. It was buried halfway in snow, shredded open from within. Inside, old supplies, snapped poles, mold black fabric, scratches deep enough to tear flesh, dug into the canvas walls from the inside out. Irina whispered, "This is where they died." But I wasn't sure she was talking about the hikers. Pavel stood outside, staring at the mountains. "We shouldn't be here," he said. "This place remembers." That night, I stepped out to relieve myself. I was alone, only for a minute. The snow around the tent was still. Then I saw them. Footprints, fresh, coming from the woods. They led toward me. When I turned to call for the others, there were more footprints circling the tent. I don't know how long they'd been there. I don't know if they were ours. They didn't look right. The storm hit just after midnight. We were trapped in white, visibility gone, GPS down. Time slowed, then vanished. Alexei went missing first. No scream, no struggle. One moment he was there, talking, rambling, and the next, just gone. His flashlight lay in the snow, beam flickering. We searched until our voices were raw, nothing, not even tracks, like he'd never existed. Irina's GPS kept looping. Every coordinate pointed to where we stood. It wouldn't let us leave. Pavel started carving signs into nearby trees, the same symbols from the artifact. When I asked why, he didn't answer. He just muttered something under his breath, something in a language I didn't know. The wind screamed that night. It wasn't wind anymore. It was voices, layered, urgent, overlapping. I heard sobbing, laughing, my own name, again and again. I don't know why. Maybe because it was the only thing tethering me to reality. The others said I should stop, that the camera was making things worse, but I couldn't. If we didn't make it back, someone had to see what we saw. We tried to run. Pavel led us through the trees, dragging us behind him like ghosts. But the forest didn't make sense anymore. Paths curved in on themselves, trees repeated like broken film. He stopped, turned. "Go," he said. He stayed behind. We didn't see what took him, only heard it. A crack, a whisper, a wet sound like something being pulled apart. Irina collapsed not far from the tree line. She grabbed my coat, her eyes wide. "It's behind you," she whispered. "It followed us out." I turned. I can still see it when I close my eyes. A figure, tall, too tall, thin but somehow dense, covered in ice. Its face shifted like snow sliding down a slope. Its eyes glowed, not bright, deep, like looking into a well. Then everything went black. When they found my camera, it was buried under 1/2 meter of snow. Weeks later, battery drained, casing cracked, the footage survived. They said we were caught in a blizzard, that we got lost, like the 9 before us. But they're lying. The mountain took us, and it's still hungry. Locals whispered the mountain was cursed, a place that feeds on the living. But not all at once, one group at a time. At night in the howling wind, some say you can still hear voices, calling out, pleading, trapped somewhere between the snow and the dark. The government called it rumor. There is no official record of a second disappearance. But the villagers remember the names of the lost. They remember who never came home. And they still say the same thing today. The mountain doesn't just kill you, it takes you. The Ural Mountain expeditions have taken numerous people over the years, only unlike K2 or Mount Everest, where people die from the climb and exposure. The climbers in the Ural Mountains just vanish. No bodies, no signs, just vanish into the brink of darkness, never to be seen again.